BodyBags, where horror lies.
Hey, what's going on, BodyBags? Andrew here. Welcome to week 186, I believe, or 187, one of the two. I always get them confused. I was just listening to videos earlier, and I forget again. So welcome. I'm your Saturday host. Thanks for tuning in. The movie I'm going to be reviewing for you this week is Maggie. I just saw this last night, actually. This is one of the movies I was watching. And basically, now right off the bat, I will address that. Now, many people would argue, is this a horror movie or is this? I do tend to be more inclusive when I say what a horror movie is. So I would consider this a horror movie, but it's definitely a drama horror more so than a real horror. But there's definitely horror elements, horror scenes. And it's definitely a zombie film. So it's definitely horror runs throughout this movie. Basically this movie takes place pretty much as a zombie apocalypse is breaking out, and Abigail Breslin plays the daughter of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and she just, she's infected, and basically in this one, it takes like a couple, I'd say it doesn't tell you how long it takes, but it takes like a week or two, I'd say, for the zombie to take over the human. So it's basically like you start off, she's at the doctor's office, and then the rest of the movie is just, her progression into that. And I mean, that's not really a spoiler because, I mean, it's right on the cover. I mean, you could really figure it out basically by reading the description of the movie. This is my thoughts on this movie, man. I was really, really surprised at how really well acted and shot this movie was. And I really was taken back by the emotional pull that this movie had. There's some scenes that, man, they're just gut-wrenching, especially towards the end, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think this probably is his, and in terms of like acting, best performance, I would say, of his career. I can't think of another one that he acts better than this, other than just being a macho, 80s star. This movie where he actually acts and he's very emotional and he's very vulnerable and he actually has to act, and he does a very good job at it. And I really love the progression of this film. It was an emotional film. It was a scary film. It was, a good drama, a good horror film, all at the same time. I thought it did a really good job at being both. It's got mixed reviews. A thing that really impresses me about this, though, is that Arnold Schwarzenegger actually acted in this film for $0. He accepted the role and didn't require any pay for this film. That's really says a lot. He fell in, and it says in the trivia section, he fell in love with the script, so he accepted this without having a salary. That really says how much he really enjoyed the script of this film. I'd like to hear his thoughts about the final, film in itself, how he thought of the final product is what I was going for. Because I think it definitely could have been better. I think there was something in the direction that was great. Well, it was great, but it wasn't excellent. There was just a little bit missing that could have made it be just perfect. It was missing that maybe Aronofsky kind of touch or something like that, where just a little bit more of an emotional pull. It could have been something that was just excellent. But in terms, I think this is a great film. I would recommend it to anybody if you like, drama horrors. I'm trying to think of another one. I mean, I guess Amityville Horror falls in that terms of like drama horror. The Raven from a couple years ago. I'm trying to think of another couple movies. Looking at my list, I'm not seeing many others that are like drama horror. But yeah, if you're into The Exorcist, of course, The Exorcist. That's a drama that, is like a horror film. So, I mean, if you're into those kinds of films, that you can't go wrong with this. I give this movie an 8 out of 10. Very solid watch. I definitely will rewatch this in a couple months. It's a really good watch. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for me. As always, feel free to like, comment down below, and subscribe to BodyBags if you haven't already. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. See you next week with Godzilla 98. Peace.